Hello, 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 hello. Good evening. Just a second. All right. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I see you, Rosemary. You made it right on time. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Friday Night Hangout. Yay! Who is excited? I am definitely excited because tonight we have a very hot topic. Yes, Rosemary, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're just tuning in, welcome to the Friday Night Hangouts. And I'm your host, Joy Onyeso. And tonight we're going.
Oh yeah, it's a Friday night. It's Friday night hangout. Let's celebrate. A season of new beginnings. Let's rejoice. Thank God it's Friday. It's Friday night hangout. Let's celebrate. A season of new beginnings. Let's rejoice. Thank God it's Friday.
Okay, great. The Friday Night Hangout song. Yay! Okay, I see you. Welcome, Olivia. Welcome, IJ. And welcome, everyone. Please do forgive me if I'm not able to mention your name. You know how it happens, depending on your network. And I just get to see some people. I don't get to see some people until after the show. So please do accept my apologies in advance. Okay, I see you, Iroma. Welcome. So I'm very excited tonight because tonight we're going to be discussing something that is so dear to my heart. And I do believe that if you stay tuned and you stay focused, you're going to be walking away with nuggets that you can readily apply. As always, that's why we're here on the Friday night hangout. Ooh. So this is the first session in the month May. We are having the first Friday night hangout tonight. So welcome once again. So tonight, before I go into the topic of tonight, I want to talk about the theme for the month of May. Just make sure that you don't miss the month of May. We're going to be talking about business growth tools this month of May. And so tonight, I'm going to take us through what business growth is all about. I'm going to just quickly run us through because I've done that severally on other shows. I'm also going to take us through business strategies, then I would come back to the tools. Just a sec. I'm having a little bit technological challenges tonight, but we're resilient, and that's what we're going to do tonight. So stay tuned. It's 30 minutes, beautiful conversation, insightful conversation. So if you do need to get your writing materials, your reflective materials, this is the time to do that. You need to get a cup of drink or water, whatever it is, just get that and let's settle in because for the next 30 minutes, we're going to have very, very good conversations. Right. Okay. So I will start off with looking at what a business growth is, right? And because I know some of us on this show tonight, we are business owners. We're either solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, christopreneurs, the different kind of preneurs that we do have. But the most critical thing is that we're running businesses and we're running businesses to make profits. Now, one of the key objective of any business is growth. So if you're here and you're running a business, and when I talk about business, Rosemary says I already have my book and a glass of water. Great, young course, right? Good evening, Nazine. Welcome and then welcome. Goodness, nice to have you. Now, when I'm talking about business, please do note I am talking about for profit business and not for profit business. So, whether you're not for profit, meaning that you are registered on the incorporated trustees with the CAC of Nigeria, depending on what it is in your own climb, or you're for profit, meaning that you actually look forward to making profit. Growth is the main objective of any business, for profit or not for profit. Why? We want to grow, we want to expand. So you want to set up a business that is growth inclined. You don't want to remain at the same point. You want to see yourself growing. Yeah, right? Now, when we talk about business growth, what we're really looking at is when an organization is positioned um, in order to increase its revenue, its customer base, its lineup of products. The critical thing is that you're increasing your revenue and then you're increasing your customer base and you're also improving in the value of the product or services that you give to your clients. So when these things are happening, we say you're growing. I always like to give the analogy of a child. You see a child that you give birth to a baby, you have some certain milestones to know that the baby is growing. When the baby starts to to open his or her eyes after 7 days or 5 days or how many days it may be, the baby proceeds to weaning the baby out of breast milk into taking other kinds of food. The baby starts to sit, crawl, walk. You would know that the baby is meeting its milestones and the baby is growing. Likewise, a business. Look at your business as a baby. And from the onset, you need to ask yourself, what are the growth milestones for this business? What strategy can I put in place to ensure that I meet these milestones? And then finally, what kind of tools am I going to be deploying to ensure that I meet my growth objective? So I want to take us through the types of business growth. I've talked about what business growth is all about. Let's look at some of the types of business growth that we have. Then we'll go on to look at strategies, and then finally we'll look at the tools that are ready that you can readily deploy to meet your growth objective. What I want to say before I go into the types of business growth is that first of all, growth starts with a vision. If you're running a business and you don't have a clear vision for the growth pathway of your business, then let this conversation be the igniter of that reflection in you. Begin to think, where do I see my business in the next 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, 12 years? If you cannot answer these questions, then it's difficult for you to have business growth strategies that you can readily deploy. You need to know where you want to go to, and then you look at the set of actions and tools that will take you there. That's simply what we're discussing tonight. As a business, where do you want to go to? How do you want to position yourself in such a way that you can get to that destination? What kind of assistance can you have on the way that will enable you to get to that destination? In simple terms, that's what the conversation tonight is. And every growth starts from a vision, a dream. What is your vision for that business? Remember, we're talking about for profit and not for profit. What is your vision for that business? Where do you see the business going to? If you've not been able to answer this question, then it shows that you need to take time to do a deep reflection on why you even started the business in the first place. Beyond the money that comes in, why are you in that business? What deep need is it fulfilling for you? Once you can respond to these questions, then you're on your path to growth. Now, we have four types of business growth, and I'm going to quickly run through them, and you know which stage you are at and know which one applies to you. The first one is what I call the organic growth. Now, organic growth is when an organization or a business utilizes its internal resources to grow. What does this mean? For instance, if you are in production and you invest in efficient production processes that will enable you to have more products within a shorter time frame that will enable you to generate more sales, then that is an organic growth. It depends on if you're a coach, you're a consultant, you sell clothes, you're in the fashion industry or fashion accessories. If you invest in processes that make you to shorten your production or your delivery time so that you can generate more within shorter time frame, So you have more sales within a shorter period of time, then that is organic. It means you're not using anything external. Hello, Deca. Hello, Chinelo. I see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So you are using all the resources within you, within that business. You're not going outside. You're not looking for external support. You're using what you have to grow. It is organic. It goes through its own time frame. It goes through its own process. So you grow organically. You just set your milestones, and by the time you keep, if you're in production or you're offering services, you learn from the experience, and then you keep working on your business where you get to the point where you can do certain things in a shorter time and you get better results, you get more sales, you bring in more revenue, your business is growing organically. Now, this is the first point of call for most businesses. We would always start from that organic point of growth where we're just working on the business, you know, making the business more efficient, having more of excellent performances, optimizing our stuff, and then you see that your business organically, because you're putting in a lot of work into it. What you focus on grows. So you're putting in a lot of work and you're learning how to do things more efficiently, because the more you do something, you learn the gaps in it, you improve on the process, you become more efficient, and then you become very good at it, right? So it enables you to grow. That is one type of growth, the organic growth. Now, there's also another type of growth, which is the internal growth. It's almost the same thing like the organic growth, but the only difference in between the organic growth and the internal growth is that in the internal growth, you're using the resources of the business, yes, but you're also looking at ways of optimizing, meaning that you start looking at ways you can save cost. You're more critical now, looking at wastages. How can I really reduce my expenses? Is it possible, instead of producing this gown for 2,000 naira and selling it for 8,000 naira, is it possible I can produce the same gown, the same quality, if not even a better quality, for 1,000, 1,005 and make more profit? You will start looking at where can I close the loop, the gap, where can I close wastages, where is it in terms of the staff I'm paying, do I need to automate some of the processes so that it's easier, I'm now using technology rather than using manual labor. I'll get more output, of course, and more precision. So, in internal growth of a business, you're still looking inwards, but more of automating your processes. We've talked about automating last year, where I think it was around June, July, when we're talking about some of the ways of making our business more efficient. When we're talking about business development, right? We talked about automation, automating certain routine processes so that it reduces the time and the effort required to do this. Now, that's another type of growth, right? Then we also have the growth that we call the strategic growth. This is where I see the gap in so many businesses, especially the small and medium scale businesses. You're starting off a business, you don't have a strategy for positioning yourself for the future market. And that's where strategic growth comes in. Strategic growth recognizes that there's a certain level you get to, it now becomes important for you to invest funds and other resources into growing your business so that you're positioned in a way that you can increase your customer base, you can increase your revenue, you can become more efficient in your production or your delivery of services, and of course, you can grow sustainably. So that one is strategic growth. It looks at positioning, it looks at the future. I would always advise that from the onset of when you set up that business, don't tell me that the business is too small. My capital is too small. It's beyond that capital at that point in time, but more of the framework you use in setting up the business. Because most of us will start off from the organic growth, where you take what you got from the business, deploy it back into the business, but looking at ways of becoming more efficient in what you do. So if you're running any business, ask yourself the critical question: how am I positioning myself for growth 4 years down the line, 3 years down the line, 10 years down the line? And that comes back to the first question I asked you to reflect on: where do I see my business? Sadly, most businesses in Nigeria do not think about the future. Everything is about today, now, present. And so you're just existing. Every day you just show up in your business without any form of strategy, without any form of plan as to how to grow your business. And you keep lamenting, oh, my business is not growing. You need to put in work into your business. You need to put in work into your business. Some of the strategic growth positioning you can do is to even invest in your team development, even in recruiting. Very, very strategic. When you know where you want to go to, you're very, very intentional about who you're bringing on board into the business. You're very intentional as to the kind of products and services that you offer. You may even start looking at having a new line of products or a new line of services that can meet the needs of certain type of audiences, right? That opens up a new market for you. So you have to be very strategic. It's not something you just wake up and you start doing anyhow. I see a lot of business owners. You just wake up. Oh, Titi is running this promo today. You jump in and start running your own promo. What is the objective behind that promo you're running? What is the objective behind that program that you want to implement? How does it serve the growth purpose or the growth objective of your business? You need to be able to answer these questions. It's for you to run a sustainable business. You need to put in a good amount of work into the business. So when you hear us talking about working on your business, it means that there's enough. You just have to keep thinking through, making informed decisions, and positioning yourself. Positioning is so, so important. As a business, how do you create niche? When we talk about positioning, you of course you'll be talking about niche creation. How do you carve out a niche for your business? That when people talk about peanuts, they say go to Deca Peanuts. When people talk about Ankara, they say, oh, go to this Cape Fabric. I hope I got the name correct. When people talk about philanthropic services, they say go to Joy Universal Foundation. So how are you positioning your business in such a way that you you are optimizing growth opportunities? This is one thing I want you to think about. How can you leverage on your process? So think about it and ensure that you look at ways of putting this in. And it all starts from the envisioning. You can't run away from that. If you don't know what the vision of your business is, how would you now know the pathway to achieving that vision? Your mission. So when you talk about a mission statement, a vision statement, this is very critical. Most businesses do not have a vision, a mission, and they're just existing. No objective at all, no strategy. And you just selling and cry every day. You go and buy, you sell. You can't grow like that. You will find yourself running in circle. 5 years down the line, you are where you are. 5, 10 years down the line, you are where you are. Then you saw that people coming and just going over. Why? One, they have a very solid vision for the business. Two, they understand their pathway to creating that, to making that vision happen. A vision is your futuristic goal for your business. Where do you see, when you talk about where you see your business in the future, that's your vision. Now, the vision needs to be reviewed within certain periods of time. Because, of course, the vision you start out with, by the time you run the business 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you might find out that with experience and with understanding the terrain you're working in, there may be a need to change or to upgrade your vision so that you are serving the audience needs. Because every business that exists to do something. What is it? To provide solution. You must be providing solution to your clients' pain area or to your clients' challenges. That is what they're buying from you. That solution, either in terms of the product or in terms of the services. So ask yourself, what solution is your business providing? What solution, in very simple terms, what solution is your business providing? How do you see yourself providing this solution in the next 5 years, 10 years. Think about it in that terms. Remember, I keep saying we win together. We want to see us having sustainably developed businesses, right? Then the other thing we want to look at is the mergers, partnerships, and acquisitions. Before you jump into partnerships, it comes with a high level of risk. But of course, it has a number of rewards. When you put in resources together, you have more resources, meaning that you can break into new markets, meaning that you can, explore. You have enough money for marketing, you have enough money for product development, you have enough money, to do a number of things for the business. But with every good thing comes its own risk. So before you jump into partnership, ask yourself the critical question: why am I going into this partnership? And be sure that that partnership serves your need, right? Be sure it serves your need. You want to be sure it serves your need, because though partnership is one way to grow with, you see even mergers. You see most of the medium size and the big industries. You talk about mergers, you talk about acquisitions, right? So these are all ways of growing. They want to grow. They want to have more market shares, and so they want to put in their resources together to take over the market. So you'll find big companies trying to acquire smaller companies. They're not just acquiring those companies, they're also acquiring their assets and their liabilities. Now, some of their assets would be their customer base, some of the assets will also be their market share. So all of those things they're also acquiring it. What does that do? It gives them more visibility, more revenue, and all of that. So these are some of the types of business growth that your business can now experience. Now, since we know this, and you are an entrepreneur, whether you're a social entrepreneur, you're in a non-profit or for-profit business, the key thing is that we want to grow, right? And that growth is a major objective for us. If growth is a major objective, what is your action plan for ensuring that you grow? That is what is called a strategy, in very simple terms. So, your strategy, your business strategy, is that plan for growth that you have developed. What is that plan that can enable you to expand your operations in specific areas? So, if you say you want to grow in terms of, some of us will say, okay, I want to increase my revenue in the next 6 months. And I'll ask you, so what is your plan? In other words, what is your strategy for increasing your revenue? It's not just by saying it, there has to be a plan for making it happen. I want to increase my customer base. What is your plan for doing that? So, when you have this plan in place for meeting this specific growth requirements, this is what we call your business, excuse me, your business growth strategy. So if you're a business owner and you're watching me or watching the replay, and you have fantastic, beautiful goals, dreams for your business for this year, this second quarter of the rest of 2023, I would also ask you to please take some time and really work out what your plan for achieving these goals is. It's not just to affirm it or just to write it down. You need to be clear. You need to see the pathway for achieving that growth. And is it possible? It is very possible. Very, very possible. Once you can sit down, think about it, have a deep understanding of how you want to go about it, and then you're committed to taking daily steps that will take you there. Now, one other thing I want to also let us know is that your strategy is dependent on your industry or your target audience. What do I mean by this? Now, you don't copy everything you see. If you're in the food industry, there are some strategy that is peculiar to the food industry. If you're in the fashion industry, there is some particular strategy that is peculiar to that industry. So it's not a one size cap fits all. You need to be able to do that studying of your target audience, study your market, and you have a very good understanding of what it requires to grow your business in that specific area that you want to. So please, your target and your industry determines the strategy that you deploy. If you're working with youths, it's not the same strategy that you use if you're when you're working with maybe people in their middle age. Why? Their needs vary. Their needs vary. What gives them satisfaction and meaning is different because they're different age gap, age bracket. So you need to understand this very well and find a plan, find a strategy that appeals to your target audience, to your location, and to your industry type. There's some strategy that you would use in Nigeria, you cannot use in Cameroon, you cannot use whatever. So please just find out when you come across any strategy that appeals to you, please look into it and be sure that it's something that you can really apply to your business in that location you're working, that's your specific context, the target audience you're working with, and within your particular industry. For example, when you look at marketing, if you're in the pharmaceutical industry, there are certain products you cannot just start advertising anyhow. You need to get permission from the pharmaceutical board, right? So, depending on your industry and your target audience, you need to make sure that you're doing something that it's legal, is relevant, and captures the interest of your target audience, right? Beautiful. Chinelo says, I believe it is possible. Yes, it starts from believing. Now, when we've looked at all this, when we've determined what our objectives in the business are, when we understand what the plan of action that we want to run with to achieve that business growth that we determine that we so desire, the next thing for us to be looking at what kind of business growth tools do we need to deploy? When we talk about business growth tools, some of us will think, it's so huge, so big. But let's break it down to something simple, something everyday. Even social media is a business growth tool, right? And that's why I would always encourage us determine what your objective of using social media is. Excuse me. Determine what your objective of using social media is, and that will affect the way you engage on the social media. Excuse me. So for someone that sees the social media as a business growth tool, the way you engage is very different from someone that sees social media as a fun spot where to come and cruise and catch fun. And so if you're modeling someone who sees social media as a cruise and you are running a business and you see it as your business growth tool, and yet you're modeling someone who is using it for cruising, of course you know what your fate would be like. So when we talk about business growth tools, we're really talking about technology or channels that you can use to grow your business. And when we talk about growth, remember what we said. How do you increase your visibility? How do you increase your customer base? How do you increase your sales or your revenue? So we're talking about tools that can enable you to do this. Social media is one of such. So I want you to look at some growth strategy tools that you can use. Even design, you see the tools you use for scheduling. If you're a coach or a consultant, having an efficient system for scheduling your clients so that you don't clash dates, you have them, getting a time slot without so much drama is also a growth tool. Because once you're also able to automate your process, become more efficient, and then deliver more value, reading products or services, you're growing. So any tool that enables you to do that, I want you to begin to think about it. In your line of business, what kind of tools do you need that will help you grow? What kind of tools do you need that will help you grow? For those who are into IT, maybe having a laptop that is very customized to the kind of business. We have different kinds of laptops with different abilities or capacities. So, depending on what your line of business is, for instance, if you are into designing, the kind of programming you will need will be different from those of us who use it for documentation and all those kind of stuff. So look at your tools. What kind of tools you need technological wise? What kind of technology do you need to grow your business? Don't shy away from using technology. What other kind of tools? There is what we call the growth strategy template. This one helps you to put in all the steps, your action, everything into a particular template, just like you have a business plan. A growth strategy template is also a tool that can help you to grow your business. The SWOT analysis template is also a tool that can help you to grow your business because it helps you to evaluate the strength, the weakness, the opportunities, and the threats of your business. And once you're able to do this, then you're able to strategize, you're able to make informed decisions. So, in that your business, start thinking about what do you need as a tool to help you become more efficient so that you can meet your your growth requirements, which would be in terms of revenue, in terms of efficiency, optimization of your performance, in terms of service delivery. So all of these things, what tool do you need? And it's not so difficult. There are a number of free tools online that you can leverage. Just go online and take them. For what? For instance, I'm using StreamYard tonight, and that's what I've been using for my business for the Friday night hangout. And it's a very, very important tool for my business because it enables me to stream at the same time simultaneously to YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and this is very important. It has so many other social media channels that you can stream live at the same time. So this is an important tool for my business. So start thinking about it. What other tools do you need for your business? So, in summary, we're wrapping up now. Today, we started a conversation on business growth tools for the month, for this new month of May. And tonight, I took us through what business growth entails. We looked at what the types of business growth that we have. We also looked at strategies of business growth, and then we talked about the tools. I do hope that you got some nuggets from tonight's um, conversation. Please let me know what the value of tonight's conversation is. What are you taking away from the conversation tonight? And while you're putting that in, I want to just quickly take an advert. We have an upcoming program called Dare to Dream. Now, this program runs for 5 weeks. Is a virtual online coaching program that is 12 hours, and it runs for 5 weeks. So you have the 12 hours of a hybrid coaching program of executive coaching, that's one-on-one coaching with group coaching in 5 weeks. Now, this program runs on 6 pillars. The number of things you're going to learn in this program that would help you to optimize your business, that will help you to grow your personal brand and your business brand. And one thing I love about this program is you are completely in control of what you want to take out of this program. So you set the agenda. Remember, I always tell you, start from a vision. So, what vision of growth do you have? And that's why the program is called Dare to Dream. So, if you can dare to dream, because every business starts from a dream. Remember, Martin Luther King said, I have a dream. And so I ask you tonight, what is your dream? Every good business starts from a dream. So once you can dream it, you can do it. So I'll be here as your accountability partner to help you look inwards, excuse me, to get out that dream and to look at how best you can implement that dream to achieve its full manifestation. So it's if you're interested in this program, it runs for 5 weeks from the month of July through to August. We're going to put a number in the chat, and you can just call the number or text or WhatsApp the number for more information. Just type Dare to Dream, and a member of my team would be in touch with you to give you more information about the program. So, like I said, it's a very beautiful program for those who are interested in investing in themselves and in their businesses. One of the tools you can use in growing your business is also investing in growing yourself. Your business can grow to the level that you have developed yourself. So when you invest in your personal development, invariably you're investing in your business development as well. So this is one opportunity that you have to, you know, call that dream into manifestation. The number is in the comment section. You can just send a WhatsApp message or send an SMS, or you can call the number working hours 9 to 4 p.m. And then a member of the team will be on hand to respond to your inquiries. So don't miss this opportunity. Okay, and finally we come to the end of tonight's episode. I do hope that you got value for your time. Remember, I said we'll just do 30 minutes every Friday, and we're trying to keep to that. Sorry, we're 6 minutes over, but I'm sure you got a lot of value. And so, till I see you next week, when we continue our conversation on business growth tools. Next week, we'll have another sub topic, and I hope you can really make it. And I tell you, you would not regret coming online. Chilo says, leverage on online tools for growth. Beautiful. I like that. Very, very important. So, thank you for sharing, Chinelo. Thank you, everyone, for engaging. I deeply appreciate it. Without you, there'll be no Friday night hangout. So thank you so much, and it's bye for now. Till we see next week Friday, same time, 7 p.m. Join us on LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook. And while we're talking about books, don't forget you can also send to the same number the books you want to buy. We have great books, Dare to Dream book, Power Woman book, and they have valuable content for those that want to grow their business, that are intentional about growing their business. You can't run away from investing in good business books. You can't run away from investing in good personal development books. These are some of the tools that you need to grow your business and to create a legacy. So, till I see you next week, Friday, thank you so much. And to my member of my team who has made this possible, working behind the scene, Makachuku and Sandra, thank you so much for making this happen. Thank you to the other members of the team, JBN and Tosi. I appreciate you all. And to all of you, you know that I love, honor, and celebrate you. And I'll see you next week, Friday, same time. Bye for now. See you.